Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and today is our 1950s edition for our Crochet Through the Decades Cal 2024. So today I'll be revealing all of the entries that we received for August, which was the 1950s, and then we'll talk about how we choose a winner and what we do next. So for those of you that may not know, we do have a playlist, by the way, called hashtag Crochet Through the Decades Cal 2024. And in there, our very first video introduced us to this cowl, which takes place over 4 months. So August was all about the 1950s, September, so currently we're working on the 1960s, October will be the 1970s, and November the 1980s. And then we thought we'd end it there because December is going to be all about Christmas, right? So we'll be getting ready with all our Christmas makes. So we take inspiration from each decade and then we create something. Each and every one of you that would like to put forward an entry, you just email it to me. And in this jar here, everybody that puts an entry in will get their name in here, and we will do that in our reveal video together. And then each and every month, there'll be one winning prize in here, I should say entry. And then at the end of the 4 months, there'll be 2 winners. As I always say, we're all winners just by turning up, whether you're cheerleading or making something or voting. It's just amazing for me. But I do think that it's a bit of fun to have, you know, a couple of prizes as well. And the prizes will be 2 12-month subscriptions to a crochet magazine. I'm yet to determine which magazine it is, to decide which one it is, but rest assured it will be a crochet one. So I'll just pop these down for here. So I thought the jars would be nice because you can see through them, see all the entries in there. So for each and every month that you enter, you'll get your name in one jar, and then the other jar will have the winning entry. So there'll be 4 in that one. So 1 in 4 to win chance in that one, and the other one multiple you know, names will be in there, which is amazing. So what we did for August, we drew inspiration for the 1950s, and here we are here. I had showed you this earlier. You can take inspiration from pretty much anywhere, guys, whether it be the colors or the fashion, the food, the toys, you know, a major event or events that happened in that decade. So for example, the color palettes for the 1950s were pastel. I think they were like black and white and Scandinavian. The Scandinavian one I had to look up because I'd never heard of that before, and it was like browns and greens. It's just a beautiful color palette if, you know, you do appreciate those colors. So it might be something you'd like to Google if you're not sure of it. But the pastel's very simple, of course, and the black and white. Now, a lot of you thought of, you know, made some things that were very similar, and I love the stories that you all gave for your entries, and I will be letting you all know what everybody thought. Now, along with the you know, any inspiration you can get from anywhere, whether it was a book, YouTube, let me think, you could get inspiration from anywhere, like the furnishings, for example, back then. It's just crazy how much information is out there. But I also have this beautiful book here, which I just happened to find when we announced that we'd be doing this. Here it is here, this crochet along. And I just thought that what I will do each month, so for today, I'll be talking about the 1950s. I'll show you a little bit of the makes that were actually being made at that time. So there is a beautiful history in this book. If it's available from Big W here in Australia, I'm not sure if you can get it elsewhere, but it is a 2024 publication, so it is very current. I will make a note for myself to see if I can find out if you can buy it anywhere else, like Amazon or somewhere like that, if anyone is interested. It does have a lot of history in here, so I'm not going to go through all that now, but I will show you some of the makes that were happening at the time. So this one comes to us from the Australian Women's Mirror from the 9th of June 1954. And guys, what else would it be but the granny square? Now, this is a replica of, or was made up using the pattern, the original pattern, and I will show it to you now. What they referred to, like they referred to granny squares as motifs in the very beginning, and then I guess over the years we, you know, named them granny squares. And here is the original magazine that it came out of, and there's the original pattern there made up as a cardigan. And look at that. Now, as you can imagine, the patterns were written a little bit differently through the decades. As you can imagine, the yarns were different. As you can imagine, the sizing of the hooks may have been known as something different. So the challenge, I think, that whenever we use a pattern from, you know, decades or even a few years ago, things were written very differently. So that's something we need to be mindful. But in this book, it does say that, you know, they try to replicate the yarn as close as possible and also the hooks, and that's what they talk about as well. So that was a wearable. Now, another thing that they used the motifs for, or the granite squares, were for Afghans. And this is from 1957. How beautiful is that? Now, I do believe that they said they used a tiny hook, something like a 2.5 millimeter, 2.5, and an 8-ply yarn. I think they said that they used which is actually very, very tight crochet for me. If I was to use a 2.5 millimeter hook with a DK weight yarn, it'd produce a very, very small square, I'd say. And then they also had these beautiful cotton gloves. Now, these are from 1953. Look at that, guys. Now, they were made using cotton and a tiny, tiny hook, I imagine. So the women really did dress up beautifully, and the men, of course, but I'm talking about the women. I always have pictures in my head of, you know, women dressed in the 1950s, and they always look beautiful. And then there was also house items, like household items, you know, cushions and things, but they actually did make the doilies, which were very popular, and this is from 1951. Again, this would have been made in cotton, I believe, with a tiny, tiny hook. Let me get my glasses on, because I remember reading it, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. So as you can imagine, a 1.25 millimeter hook, of course. And then again, interpreting the pattern, but the people that have written this book do give you some tips and tricks along the way. So this is a gorgeous book to have in my library, especially. I absolutely love it. And I know a few of you have purchased it as well. So what a fabulous resource we have here that captures crochet over the decades, which I think is amazing, and of course ties in perfectly with what we're doing here today. So what did I make, guys? Well, a lot of you had the same idea, which is wonderful. I was so excited when I was receiving your entries. In actual fact, we have 14 entries, which is wonderful, right? I'm going to show you what I made, and then I'll talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to start looking at everybody's entries, and then we're going to take note of the numbers and then start voting. So I made this. First of all, I love aprons. I don't know about you guys, but I love my aprons. I've got the fancy ones when we have a party, if I like to just wear it in the kitchen. And I actually do wear everyday cotton ones that I can just toss in the wash when I cook, especially when it's things that splatter. So I am a big fan of aprons. So of course I had to make this gorgeous little apron. Now, this actually sits on a detergent bottle in your kitchen. So soap, you know, for washing the dishes. And it is a pattern by Jada in Stitches. And I've got a little photo here of the video. So here it is here, in case any of you are interested. There we go there. So this is the dish soap apron crochet pattern and tutorial, vintage 1950s. So it was actually perfect for what we wanted, and I just fell in love with the idea straight away. So what I did, I used my pastel-y looking colors from my We Love yarn. This is an 8/8 or an 8-ply or DK weight yarn from Hobie, and it's 100% cotton. And I used this beautiful blue and this creamy color and a 4.5 millimeter hook. Now that's the size hook that Jada does say to use. But what I did that I absolutely love, and I have to share this with you. Well, let me just pop the yarn over there. See these little frills here? They actually don't sit very well, and I was finding it very difficult for me to actually look at it. So what I did is I got my pins. So I got these pins here. So the longer the better. And I actually pinned through and this way as well. And then I used my starch that I ironed with, and I got them to be nice and starched, and they're not going to move. I'm sure if I washed it, I'd have to restarch it, but I just thought it was brilliant. I just sprayed them in the morning, and by the time I came home, they were sitting there perfectly. This little pocket is so cute. I think I should have used a smaller hook for that. Looks a little bit big, but you can actually pop something in there if you want to, because the top's open. And it was such a pretty and simple make, as you can imagine. And it's got the little hook, that bit here that hooks over the detergent bottle. But I just wanted to put it on this to show you how pretty it looks. Now, I was thinking, because I went into the supermarket the other day and I found these sponges. Look at the colours. How awesome would that be? So 50s. And also, all you need to get is a bottle of, you know, someone's favourite dishwashing detergent, and there's a brilliant Christmas gift there, guys. So there you go. I thought I would make that suggestion in case you were thinking, why would anybody want something, is it the word this kitschy or this quirky in their house? Well, I would absolutely love it. So if you love things like toilet roll holders and tissue box covers, I think that you would love this as well. So that was my little project for the 1950s. So now we're going to showcase all of yours. I do have 2 on the iPad and the rest are all on paper. Now, what I'm going to try to do is put them as close as I can so that you can see them. I'll leave them up there for a few seconds. Please take note of the number of your favorite, and all you have to do is pop that down in the comments and I will tally them all up. But each and every one of them is so, so gorgeous. You will fall in love. Now, this very, very first one, I'm just going to read the little blurb. There it is, and I'm going to show it closer. So this is, again, the same one that I made. The Jadine Stitches vintage apron, and this covers the detergent bottles. The cotton yarn used by this person was from their stash, and it was peaches and cream. Now let me show you from the top all the way down to the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous, and you can see that it's tied around a detergent bottle. Absolutely love that. So that is number 1. So let's pop that one to the side. And then we have number 2. This is another one that's exactly the same, and you can see it there on the detergent bottle. Fits perfectly. Beautiful colours. There's a little heart as well. And let me just show you at the back how it is all laid out. So remember, this one is number 2. Beautiful. Then we have entry number 3. This is so gorgeous. So entry number 3, I'll bring it up close in a moment. This is the iconic Barbie was introduced in the March of 1959. The color palette used is the pastel, and it's a bedroom ensemble. So let's go from the top. As you can see, it's number 3. Oh my goodness, there's even a little pillow, blanket, a little nightie. Absolutely gorgeous. So once again, this is entry number 3. And then we have, let's pop this down, entry number 4. Look at that, guys. So this is a beanie or a hat. The pastel colors were the inspiration from the 1950s. The yarn is a mandala yarn in the colorway Tranquil. So up close so you can see all the different stitches. Absolutely beautiful. And that one is entry number 4. Now we're on to entry number 5. Now this person here made a beautiful blanket. So entry number 5. Now, this one, the person who made this said they looked up the most popular stitches for the 1950s. I'll bring it up close so you can see the stitches as well as you could. And then they chose them and just made up a pattern of their own. And the yarn is a mandala in the colorway Genie. And there it is here across the bed. So it's quite a large blanket. Very, very pretty colors. And this is entry number 5. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the variety of projects as well. Now, entry number 6, I need to bring it on my iPad. Now, this person made a beautiful little dress, and I'll show you the pattern book it came out of. How gorgeous is that, guys? Let me hold it up for you so you can actually see it. So, so pretty. Now, let me try to read while you're looking. So this is a little dress, and the pattern is from a 1950s pattern booklet. The person who made this said they did struggle a little bit with the instructions because the pattern was obviously written a little bit different because it is from the actual 1950s. And now let me show you the pattern book. So this is the front of the book. And this is the actual pattern here. Oops, is it this way is better? Very sweet child in that photo as well. So this person did a wonderful job interpreting the instructions. And again, that was pattern number 6, the little blue and white dress. And then we have another entry on our iPad. And this person here, where is it? Wow, okay. Look at this, guys. We all recognize who that is. That's Elvis. So this person did an Elvis tapestry crochet. Let me bring it up close so you can see the detail in it. Now this is a Elvis tapestry crochet wall hanging, and it is 60 by 60 centimeters or 24 by 24 inches. So it's a very nice size. The yarn was the Spot Saver 10 ply in the color Natural, and the Stylecraft Special DK in Apron in the color Black, and a 5mm hook was used. Now that, I believe, is all single crochet. So that is number 7, entry number 7, the Elvis tapestry wall hanging. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have entry number 8. Oh my goodness, look at this. Elvis is definitely in the house. So this is an Elvis inspired baby romper, 0 to 3 months. So some little baby's going to be wearing that. I absolutely love it. Now, the yarn was from the thrift shop or the local op shop, and it was only 50 cents a bag. That is pretty awesome. It is acrylic, and it's actually got sparkle in there. I'm not sure if we can see that. Oh my God, I love the scarf. I love all the detail. There's the pattern there. The bling, so all that bling that we see is mesh ribbon. It's fabric glued on and invisible thread to sew. Absolutely love it. And it's a Wicked Pixie Crochet on Etsy is the pattern. That's where you can get it if you are in love with this. I certainly am. I'd love to see one of my grandbabies in this. So that was entry number 8. Now the next entry is so cute. We've got some amigurumi. Now this is Elroy the Elephant by Heather C. Gibbs. The yarn is Peter Pan by Wendy, Cedar Opium and Cedar Baby Binto, and a 3.5mm hook was used. So let's go from the very top of his little head all the way down to his toes. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is entry number 9. And the inspiration was the color palette from the 1950s, the pastel color palette. Now this one is entry number 10. This is so cute. So we've got some amigurumi coming into the picture now. Now the person who made this tells us that they were inspired by poodle skirts. So they made a poodle. I love that. It's a free pattern from the Friendly Red Fox. The person who made this said that they loved using the fuzzy yarn to represent the fluffy fur on the poodle. So let's get up nice and close and have a really good look. Absolutely gorgeous. And that is entry number 10. And then we have entry number 11. And this is the Mr. Potato Head. Absolutely love him. Oh my goodness. So let's go up close so we can see all his little bits and pieces, all the way down to his big feet. Absolutely love him. So that was entry number 11. And then we have another Mr. Potato Head. So this is entry number 12. So Mr. Potato Head was created by George Lerner, and then Hasbro, so that's the toy company, purchased the rights in 1953. The yarn that was used by this person is Stylecraft Special DK and a 2.5 millimeter hook. So let's go all the way from his hat, all the way down to his big feet as well. So that is Mr. Potato Head, but entry number 12. I love that some of you thought of the same things. And then we have entry number 13, and it's a little robot. Now, this person tells us that the inspiration is the movie called The Day the Earth Stood Still. I actually remember that movie. I'm sure a lot of you do. And it was released in 1951. And then this person tells us that soon after that, robot toys became very popular. Now, there he is there, guys. Oh my goodness, all the detail. I like his button and his heart. So there you go. That is entry number 13. And lucky last, we have entry number 14. And look who it is. It's Snoopy. Now, this person says, and I'll bring it up nice and close for you, that they enjoy Snoopy's wit and wisdom on life. He was born on the 4th of October, 1950. So he's got a birthday coming up soon. The colour theme that inspired this person was black and white. The pattern is a free pattern by Alyssa Santori at Elsa Crochet. The yarn is off-white in acrylic, and the black is milk cotton yarn, and a 3.5 millimeter hook was used. Now, I do have 2 photos of Snoopy to show you. There he is, from his head down to his toes. And here's one that's a bit closer so you can see a bit more detail of how he was crocheted. Absolutely gorgeous. So that is entry number 14. And that's it, guys. We've seen all our entries now. So all I need you to do is sit back, take your time, revisit if you need to this video so you can take a really good look and choose your favorite one. I know that is a huge task because if it was me having to choose, it'd be pretty much near impossible, but let's just do it for fun. Just choose one. I'm going to tally all the numbers up. So if you could please have them all down in the comments by Friday, the 13th of September. I will count all the votes up, and then next Sunday I'll come back, I'll reveal the winner, and then I will tell you who made what. And then we can pop the winner into this jar, and then everybody who entered something into this jar. And then we'll be getting ready to almost reveal our, collate our entries for 1960s. So the 1960s is September. The month has been divided for that. Again, inspiration can be anything from food to colors to wearables to furnishings, and there is so much to choose from. So all you need to do is Google it, guys, unless you lived through the decade like I did and you can actually remember what was around. I myself am, I really need to start, but there are 2 projects in mind and I'm not sure which way to go. But either one is going to be fun and I can't wait to bring it to you. Someone has actually already sent in an entry for the 1960s, so we've already started collecting, so that is awesome. So let's see how many we can get in for the 1960s. I'm guesstimating at the very least 14. That would be wonderful, and any more than that is great. But once again, like I said, thank you everyone for coming along to cheer everybody. Everybody is just so amazing at how we support each other, and I absolutely love that some of us were like-minded in what we made. I absolutely love my little apron, I have to tell you, and who knows, maybe there'll be more in the future, because I do have a few of these in the house, like in the bathrooms, and I thought even for those it would be pretty, because in a bathroom it'd be very pretty to have it, right? Even though it is a kitchen apron, that's okay. When I was starching it, Steve thought that it was for a doll. It was a little outfit for a doll. So it is very cute. I guess if we extended the back, we could make it into a nice halter neck top if we extended the skirt. Anyway, I've gone off track as always. I hope you're all keeping very, very well. It is the end of the weekend, so I hope you've all had a wonderful one. I need to go now and decide what I'm going to make for the 1960s. I hope you've got something on your hooks, and I can't wait to see what you've all been up to. So until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.